my job here is to support that staff to make our players be the best. And whatever I can do, whatever I'm asked to do, I'm glad to help. What can I do to take something off of you to make you the best coach you can be? And I've done that in everything I've ever done in my life. I'm not, that's no different. So from my role, these guys know that's my focus for players, for coaches, for the staff in general. What can I do to alleviate as much pressure as possible? I can take all the shots and hopefully they can do their jobs freely and few as distractions as possible and let them go play good football. Because I care. Right, and I told the guys this morning, I care about the players, I care about their families. I've sat in their seat, man. This sucks, right? I like Frank. I've talked to Frank. We've texted. I love Frank, man. I was working with Frank, right? So I'm working with him every week, talking to him. I consider Frank a friend, and I love him. I think he's a heck of a football coach. I got no control over how that. So I understand from their perspective. I've sat in that seat. They love Frank, man. That's their coach. I mean, they played for this dude. So I don't minimize that at all. I care about the staff and their families. These guys work hard. They sacrifice for their families. They sacrifice time, energy, and effort. Like, I know equipment room, man. I know media relations. I know training room. Like, you guys act like these are my people, bro. Like, my adult life was forged here. Right? Like, my wife and I had we raised our kids here. Like, these people matter to me. This organization matters to me, right? The people in the community matter to me. I mean, everybody thinks this is like flippant. This is not. Like, I care whatever I can do. And when he said, hey, can you help me? Absolutely, I'll help. If somebody called and said, hey, this is an opportunity to say, for the people who are in this room and in this building, would you do it? Absolutely, I'm going to do it, right? And I had to make sure my wife was on board. She and I talked about it, prayed about it. I called him back and I said, let's do it, right? And that was at, just for great, that was at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, Ursay carries different hours than me, right? He's a lot later. But it was like 1 or something that you consider it. And I said, hey, my wife and I, and then he and Chris talked and had a conversation and did whatever. But I had no idea how it was going to flow through. Just didn't know. And it was a whirlwind, man. And is what it is now. I'm here and trying to beat Las Vegas. I mean, that's the focus at this point. No, I got big shoulders. I knew the bullets I'm going to take. I'm good with it, right? Like, and I'll address. I know the question I'm sure is going to get asked, but the Rooney Rule. I'll be honest with you, it's an important rule. I do not diminish it 1 second, right? I believe and understand fully why it is as important as it is, right? I don't minimize. I mean, this is important. My role here is for 8 games. When this is over, they will do an exhaustive search and pick whoever their best candidate is to be the head coach of the Colts. If I'm considered, I'd be honored. I have no idea where this thing is going to go, not even a little bit. And I'm not, but I can assure you that's going to be handled. That from the organization's perspective, from my perspective as a man, like I'm good. And here's the deal. Everybody talks about I'm completely comfortable in who I am as a man, bro. I know I can lead men. I know the game of football, and I'm passionate about it. I have no fear about, are you as qualified as somebody else? Bro, I spent 14 years in a locker room. I went to playoffs 12 times. I got 5 dudes in the Hall of Fame that I play with. You don't think I've seen greatness? You don't think I've seen how people prepare, how they coach, how they GM, how they work? I mean, won Super Bowls, been to 2. Like, here's the deal, man. None of us are promised a good job. I may be terrible at this. And after 8 games, I'll say, God bless you. I am no good. I may be really good at it. I got no idea. But I dang sure ain't going to back down. I can tell you that. I mean, listen, if life ain't an adventure, it ain't for nothing. It ain't for me. I'm ready to go do this. I take a challenge head on. And I know. And listen, everybody can say whatever they want. And I appreciate that. But from my perspective, when I was asked, they said, hey, we're following every rule. At the end of the season, you aren't promised anything. Perfect. Let's go with that, and I'll move forward. I have no fear if I'm no good. And Mr. Ursay looks at me and goes, hey, we appreciate you. Thanks for stepping in. Man, job well done. I'm grateful for the opportunity.